This is match day 3 of the Waterfalls Women's Elite T20 tournament here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. It's a double-header day for the Karuma Rapids, and first they'll take on the Bujjagali Rafters. I have the two captains here, Proskovia Alako, the captain for the Karuma Rapids, Stefan Dampina, the captain for the Bujjagali Rafters, and the match umpire, Shaun Athora, we've come here for the toss. Pros, please give it a flip.
Tails. Tails is a pause, and heads it is.
Press upon winning the toss, what will you choose first and why?
I'll have the ball first. I think we've lost our first 2 games being put in, and yeah, we're trying to make them come and put a score that we can come and chase.
What do you hope to change that might have costed you the previous games as you look to start your double header well in the morning?
Is responsibility. Yeah, that's the only thing we need to come and take here.
Did you make any changes in the team?
Yeah, I did. I made 2 changes. Ichimar is coming in for Kawomera Anna, and they are 2 okay.
Thank you and all the best.
Thank you.
Mr. Captain for the Karuma Rapids. Stefan, if you had won the toss, what would you have chosen to do first and why?
We would have bowled because when they were pulling off the covers, like the covers had a lot of juice, so I would have gone with bowling first.
So now that you're going to bat first, what will be the plan going into the game?
Putting up a score that is defendable, like 120 and above. But if we fail, still we shall try and defend what we shall have put on board.
Did you make any changes in the team?
Yeah, Karuma is out. I have forgotten, but we made 3 changes today.
Thank you so much and all the best. Well, that is the news coming from the center. The Karuma Rapids have won the toss and opted to bowl first.
A little dab down to third man. There is a misfield, a little fumble, but Kevin Awino and Akrut Asmin not seeing that little fumble down the line. It's a beautiful game between the Bujjagali Rafters, who lost their first game, won their next 2, up against the Karuma Rapids, still winless. My name is Innocent Daula, and I'm happy to be calling the game with Ivan Sajabi, who was out there in the middle with the 2 captains at the toss. Lugogo is looking beautiful. Ivan, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Innocent. Good morning, viewers. Happy to be here yet again on match day number 3 of the Waterfalls Women's T20 LA tournament here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. The 2 games that the Karuma Rapids have lost so far in this tournament, they have been batting first. So their captain, Proskovia Alako, backing up her decision of bowling fast, feels that they might make a good chase and maybe pick up first victory. Top 2 advance to the final. And on your double header, you need to win the morning game so that you carry on the momentum in the afternoon.
Very well said. It's a double header day. When you snooze, you lose. The impetus, the momentum is important. I like the lines that Malmekia is hitting right in the middle. She's not straying away. But the backing up fielding superb there from Musamali Rita in the covers. For me, I felt that the team that shows early need to be on top to win the small phases is the team that crosses the line. Many teams have been guilty, especially the Rapids, a lot of misfits early on in their innings, and they have paid the price dearly.
Innocent, early days in the game, but so far looking at the display from the Karuma Rapids, they are playing like a team that wants to pick first victory. Also, Proskovia Alako told him that one of the things they need to improve going forward in the tournament as Karuma Rapids. They need to make sure that the senior players who are on the team take responsibility as they are motivating the young ones. Players like Mungu, Rita Msamali, Alako Hassoff, they need to take the responsibility to make sure that, not forgetting Fena Kulume, they push the team to the first win, because when they lose today, things may not be so good for them at the back end.
This is match day number 3. It tells you that there are only 2 match days left, and tomorrow they will get a breather. At the breather, the points table will be telling a full storyline, and that storyline may not be working in their favor if they don't work hard. But what a beautiful overboard here by Patricia Malmekia. The score is 2 without loss after 1.
They lost yesterday. It was Fena Kulme opened the bowling from the shell end. Today, the experienced Malemikia Patricia being given that opportunity. But now we see Fena Kulme trying to take up her run-up. She needs to make sure that she complements Patricia's good bowling from the other side. Just 2 runs from the first over, already a good start for the Karuma Rapids. So she needs to keep bowling those good areas to make sure that she keeps them in the check. Asmin Akrut opening the batting alongside Kevin Awino. Kevin Awino, one of the players who've won Player of Match awards in this tournament. Whereas Asmin Akrut wasn't in full flow yesterday. Just managed a single digit before being dismissed. Kulume to Asmin. Just using her wrist to play that one to the deep square leg to find Ritam Samali right outside towards the 40-yard side. The two fielders being used by Fena Kulume because she's an in-swinger. She has a fielder at deep square leg, another fielder at fine leg, who are making sure that they give her some protection outside the 30 yards. Another dot ball there for Fiona Kulume Egaro, making sure that she makes a good compliment to Patricia, who earlier on bowled well for the Rapids. This time that one is a bit full, but beautiful fielder that covers there. The sun coming out, guns blazing here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. Yesterday the morning game was reduced to 8 overs after drizzle, but proper January weather showing up this morning here at Lugogo.
Yes, Egaro Kulume, just 21 years old, and she cleans her up. They have been doing a very good job. The Rapids of Karuma are working things in quick motion, straight and full, and she plucked those words just out of my mouth. Kevin Awino scored 50 the other day on match day number 1 because she got so many balls shot at her, and she enjoyed her cut shots. Today, the Rapids have been bowling straight and full from Malmekia to Egaro Kulume, staying in the lines, not trying to do anything funny, and they reap the dividends early on here. The bullseye is hit by Egaro, and Kevin Awino will depart for almost nothing.
Yesterday, she fell for just 1 run from 6 deliveries before being caught by the wicketkeeper batter Jimia Mohammed for the Tanda Kayakers. Despite her team coming out and winning that game, but today she's failed to keep the consistent performance that she had in the very first game, and she's just fallen very, very early. The departure of Kevin Awino will see the captain for the outfit make her way to the crease, Stephanie Nampina, who said at the top Kulume to Stephanie Nampina.
Full and straight there, hit straight to Alako. A little fumble, but will they get a second? No, they won't take on the arm of Alako. Look at that, how she throws it to the keeper. Esther Iloku, so struggling for runs. She's been given a license to go after the bowling at the senior level, and at the franchise level, she's in a bit of a little struggle. I like the work being done here by the opening bowlers of the Rapids. They know it's a big day for them. Full toss, not punished. They'll scamper through for a quick single. Asmina Krut, her feet got stuck in the mud. And it's a fine over here. Scoreboard will read 5 runs for 1 after 2 overs. They're moving at 2.5 per over. And that is a good hustle for the bowlers, only if they can maintain.
Giving away 2 runs in the first over, Malemikia Patricia will return to bowl her second over, the third in the game. Starts with 1 to the pads, and that's pulled away by Asmin Akrut backward of the square to beat the fielder who was standing very, very straight in Rashida Tikavula. First boundary in this innings. Not a very good lane there from Patricia Malemikia as she just went so close to the pads of Asmin Akrut, pulls that one away for a boundary. Another up and over shot there, back boundaries for Asmin Akrut. 1 to the pads, 1 very, very wide, and more rewards for Asmin.
Problem here that Malmekia is overcompensating. She's following off the plans that were set in the beginning. Another pull shot here. There is no cover. This will be 3 boundaries in the over. Malmekia taken to the cleaners on the onside twice with the little swivel pull shots and the uppercut over the infield on the offside. She's all over.
Not making up for her first over where she bowled the good areas, stump to stump. Currently she's bowling to the pads and bowling wide. If she could just organize herself, she might pick some dot balls and bring her game together. This time, that is just played to the cover. That should be the area to force Asmin Akrut play down to the ground on the offside. Not too much with it, but just bowl to the stump to stump. And in the end, that's a good comeback from Malemikia, the experienced, as she manages to squeeze in a dot ball there for the Karuma Rapids.
Yes, Malmekia, she's played for Uganda. 26 matches in the T20Is. 20 wickets for her. A best bowling of 5 for 6. But now if she bowls like this, chance for a run out. The Dawn almost caught halfway. The run wasn't really on. Festolku had thrown it down much quicker and straighter. Should have been a lot of. So the over's already fruitful. Over's been won by the Rafters, who know that this victory will take them to the top of the log, and they'll go home and rest. Better from Malmekia. She's wrapped up the over very well. 3 boundaries, the first 3 balls, but she ends up with just some dot balls there. That will give her comfort to the 26-year-old, as over number 3 does end with the scores on 18 for 1.
After 2 overs, the score was reading 3 for 1, but somehow Asmin Akrut first things in that previous over. 3 back boundaries to make sure that she pushes the score to 18 for 1. Egaruku returns to ball, starts with 1 full and it's driven just to the cover. That's the good area to bowl. Don't give them a lot of room to play around with. We saw that in women's cricket, anything that is bowled straight becomes a very good ball. So if you can organize your lanes and just make sure that you ball into that area, you stand a chance of not giving so many runs. Fiona Kurme trying to make up for Malemikia. That is not a very good idea from Asmin Akrut swinging across the line. She could get balled if she's not so careful with her actions.
Bro said it's very important for Akrut not to get carried away with the occasion. The boundary she hit in the last over, she must remember we are hit off very poor balls. Now this one is straight and full on the off stump, and she's swinging across the line. She goes hitting hard now, the long barrier. Rashida Tikabula in the covers, falling short of her skill set. The long barrier, you have to keep your eyes on the ball. Don't just go down on one knee. Touch and go fair. Yes, there is a misfield. Is that Josephine Ichuma?
Yeah, Josephine Ichumal combining with Rashida Tikabula to give away easy runs at the cover area. That is a team no sleep area. When you're there, you need to be very attentive and alert. Those runs may come back to hand, so you need to make sure that you keep your fielding sparp. Fiona Kulme still bowling as per the plan. Not a very good idea, you see, and that one through her, Rashida Tikabula. Not a good idea anyway. You cannot make a long barrier in the 30 yards, and that races to the boundary for 4 more runs.
And that should have been stopped. Yes, she threw everything within her might at it. But Asmina Krut there getting the boundaries, but I don't know what Rashida Tikabula is doing in the covers, because she has already shown signs that she will not be stopping any ball. The 2 balls that have come to her have just gone right through her. So it's not a very good idea there. You need to be smarter. You need to work better. And for me as a skipper, I would like to see her ring the changes. Bring someone who can field there. Bring him Musamali. That is off the legs, down to Malmekia. That would have been a very good over from Egaru Kulume. Will go down as an over that has been won by the Rafters because of inept fielding. Earlier on in the over, you saw how Tikabula and Ichuma combined to give away a single. Then there was a misfield of Tikabula earlier, and she's made it 3 in the over, with the last one going to the boundary ropes. The tactics below par for the Rapids. After working so hard in the first 2 overs, now the Rafters have caught up. And the score tells you the story. They are moving at 6 per over because the scoreboard reached 25 for 1.
Asmin Akrut, 21 of 15. Stefan Nampina has been quiet, 2 of 3. The Karuma Rapids won the toss and opted to bowl first. They believe that batting first has costed them the first 2 games. And now they will take a bowling change, momentarily taking Malemikia Patricia out of the attack and introducing the experienced Ritam Samali from the shell end. But this tournament is sponsored by Scope Energy, Raj, Gaspro, Laika Mobile, and Cricket Uganda, who've put together resources to make sure that the girls come and play. After all, being a girl is about playing. Rita to Asmin, a bit of wide there, but just didn't come to the field that covers. Not a very bad idea there from Ritam Samali, forcing Asmin to play to the offside.
Forcing to play to the offside, but I still feel that was a loser, half track of sorts on the offside, served by the fact that she hit it straight to the fielder. Samali, 26 years now, has played for Uganda 125 matches in T20 eyes. That is better line from Samali, because Akrut now trying to power it on the onside because the power play is still on. Not the worst of ideas, but she needs to put bat on ball. Big pull, big swivel, nothing whatsoever on it.
Good work being done by the bowling change. In Ritam Samali, discomfort already, and the physiotherapist will need to run on to make sure that she gives some medical attention to Asmin Akrut. The previous over, after the 3 deliveries of that over, Asmin Akrut had already gotten 3 back boundaries. But Ritam Samali making up for that with the 3 dot balls. Percussion test to be performed there. And this is match day number 3 of the Waterfalls Women's Elite Tournament happening here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. Tomorrow the tournament takes a break and we'll return with action. When the action gets done, we'll have a short break and then we will see what the men have in terms of cricket. Of course, this tournament trying to make sure that it shapes what will be a busy year of cricket here in Uganda. Right from 2 qualifying tournaments for the junior teams. The boys will have a Division 2 qualifier in Kigali in August, whereas the girls will go to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania in October for their 3rd search of the sport showing up at the World Cup. The women have an emerging nations tournament
just
later
21
on
years
this year,
old.
including some engagements in Namibia
And
the
she
Women's
cleans
Day
her
tournament
up.
in March. Whereas for
They
the
have been
men,
doing a
they
very
have
good
qualifier
job.
in
The Rapids
Nigeria
of Karuma
for the
are
T20 Division 2, and later on they'll be having the 50 over cricket tournament, the Challenge League happening in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. They are back for the action for Asmin Akrut. Right after that short break. Ritam Samali still continuing to bowl to Asmin Akrut. A bit of a half tracker played up in there. Who wants to catch that one? A bit unlucky. That dive forward from Esther Ilok didn't really see her get hold on to that ball with her gloves.
She drops a catch there. I don't think there's anything wrong with her. She should be fine. It's just a drop chance. The grass is very soft. The ground in Lugogo has been enjoying some rains in a hot January. And that's the beauty of Uganda. You can easily get those 4 seasons in without much hassle or fuss. That's why it's called the Pearl of Africa. You can even play cricket all throughout the year. Samali was thinking about a wicket and she forgot to back up. Again, the pull there. Running around this one here. T Kabula. They get a couple of runs. I'd like to beg your pardon. T Kabula is wearing jersey number 6. That is at Nisima piece. Numberless on the back. One of the youngsters getting a chance to play today.
Yeah, she hails from Masindi, where Coach Patrick Msinja is doing a lot of work in terms of coaching. Good work there from the experienced Konsi Aweko. She did not allow them take a run right in her nose, and that dot will mark the end of the 5th over. Ritam Samali making up of Malemikia's over that went for 13 runs. Ritam Samali giving her just 3 runs. A very good start for her. And after 5, 28 for 1 is the score for the Bujjagali Rafters.
There will be a change in the ideas for the Rapids from Karuma. A beautiful place, Karuma. The falls do come with some wildlife and a mini forest of sorts. So it's flora and fauna all the way to Gulu, to northern Uganda. If you're really Ugandan, go take a trip. Karuma. And if you're listening in and you ever come to Uganda, do say you want to go to see the Karuma Falls. Those rapids are a beauty to watch. And what the Rapids do here, say we will change our ideas. We will be flowing the other way now. From the Pacers, they bring on the spin. Konsi Aweko with the ball from the Shell end, from the Ginger Road end. But I can tell you what, they're moving on nicely here. The Rafters, after having only 5 runs after 2 overs, 3 overs later, they've scored 23 runs. And see what she starts with, a half track of sorts. Looseners, too many looseners from the Rapids bowlers. Should have stayed with the plan. Keep it nice and easy. Keep it simple. Full and straight. Let them drive you to the boundary. She goes swinging, and then again across the line. Fine stop. 2 dabs. Same area to short fine leg for 2 singles. Hope Shilambeza done a fine job there to cut those ones off, but the skipper says, let's bring the experienced Malmek here in that tough fielding position. Dancing down the track, very well struck by Asumin Akrut, not afraid to take on the experienced Konsi Aweko. And she does get the full reward. Shimmy down the wicket, full face, and doing the rest of the job. Is a good outfield here in Lugogo.
Asmin Akrut being the person to force things here for the Bujjagali Rafters, taking the liking at all the bowlers. That one played backward of the square into the vacant area. 2 fielders running around it. The effort there not really helping her to stop that one. And that races to the boundary. Another boundary there from Asmin Akrut.
This is very poor bowling from Konsi Aweko. Inexcusable. The previous shot was a good shot from Akrut, but keep the ball in the same zone. Let her take you on. But this time now she drags it short, and what happens is that she goes for 4. Hit it in the vacant zone. No failure whatsoever. And what Akrut has done, she has put the experienced bowlers under pressure. But Konsi Aweko does a fine job now. Comes back with a good ball. Now she ends the over with a beautiful delivery. 2 dot balls at the end in an over she has lost because the Rafters have gotten 10 runs from it. And at the end of the power play, you will feel that the Rafters are in control at 38 for 1.
That 8 for 1 after 6 overs. In women's cricket, you would feel that the Bujjagali Rafters have won the power play. Somehow, Asmin Akrut has been forcing things right there for the Bujjagali Rafters. And Ritam Samali will return to bowl. She gave away in her first over. And now with the field protected, she will need to bowling performance. That is edged right to Hope Shilambeza with a fine stop for just 1 run. Some of the products of Coach Habib Mugawla right in these teams for Karuma Rapids. I see Ritam Samali, Rashidat Kabula, Hope Shilambeza, all OGs from Ginger Secondary School. Whereas for the Rafters, Stephanie Nampina, the skipper for the side, is right there.
Puts power. Hits straight down the line to Malmekia. 26-year-old Malmekia. Helping another 26-year-old in Musamali to cut that one off for the Rapids. I'd love to see the youngsters here play with less fear. The fear of failure shouldn't be one of their worries because the future is theirs. Hit up and over. Fine stop there from Egaru Kulume. Egaru Kulume, I phoned her at the police station one time. Said from then on, whenever I find off the ground, I call her Afande. She tells me I was just doing my internship. I was happy that the girls are also happy to mix the education with their cricketing careers. Some good pace there from Musamali, who is now starting to find her rhythm.
Speaking about Fiona Kulume, the course she did at Chambogo University, where she recently graduated, has something to do with the community-based work. But she currently enrolled at an aviation academy where she's studying something to do with being a dispatcher. These people who deal with helping the aircrafts while landing. And that's an opportunity that she go through the South Academy. A full scholarship awarded to her. Try and make sure that she also gets more expertise there. But it's really a good thing so that the players are not only excelling on pitch, but also with outside life, because the lifespan of a player has a limit. You may not push past your 40s. A bit of energy there from Asmin Akrot. A bit of hesitation from Rashida Kabala, but good judgment, and she manages to stop that one. But as I was saying, Innocent, you may not play for so long, but if there is something you can do, you still remain with a very, very bright future, even after the game. And after 7 overs, score stands at 42-1. But 3 of 28 has been accrued, keeping her self at a scoring rate, at a strike rate just above 100. Stefan Nampina, 7 of 8. What Stefan Nampina has tried is to make sure that she just brings Asmina Kut on strike, because Asmina Kut must be seeing that ball at a slightly bigger size. A bit of mediocre conference there. But there will be a bowling change for the Karuma Rapids.
Another change in the bowling. Konsa Aweko went for 10.5 first. The skipper says, I have seen enough of you. Yes, you may be a senior, but seniority here won't count if we are going for many early on in the game. New young bowler coming to the attack to replace Konsi Aweko with the scoreboard in favor of the Rafters. 42-1 thanks to Asmina Krut, who's come out here with the long levers and not afraid to take on experienced bowling over the Rapids. She's found the boundaries, she's forced the issue on the onside, and she's hit all the half trackers on the onside as well to the boundary ropes. Full toss to start things up. That will be a no ball, and the free hit will be loading. That free hit will go to the best person to hit it. So 2 runs to the total. Young Nyangoma Mariam getting a bite at the cherry, and she starts with a full toss. It will be a very long day for her in office if she continues to bowl like this.
Free hit coming from Mariam Nyangoma. Played there by the Dawn. Should go all the way for maximum. Good fine shot there from Stefan Nampina, just aligning herself and making sure that she sets that one to the boundary. Maximum rewards of a very fine stroke from that free hit by Nyangoma Mariam. What Nyangoma Mariam is missing is that Stefan Nampina is a very fine player for the balls that are being bowled to the pads. So
Going on one knee, not to pray, but to muscle it all the way out of the park. Stefan Nampina there with the beautiful replay shots that are coming through from the production team. Goes on one knee, muscles it out of the park. No second guessing. Nyangoma, what can you do now? Another full toss. This time around, she survives. Flashing blade from the Dawn, misses everything, and the keeper, Esther Iloku, managing to stop that one with her pads. The 50 coming up in quick time, just under 7.1 overs. 50 up for the Rafters, who would like to pick up the third straight win after having lost their first game. It was nice to take a rest in such a tournament with victory. Those will be wides. Nyangoma from Masindi has got to learn very quickly, adapt to the conditions, because learning on the job has never been an easy art. Coach Busije will be watching and will be proud with whatever happens with Nyangoma today, because it's not every day that you get a youngster to play at this stage where the volume is increased a little more. So for Businje, the coach, and Nyangoma, the player, the stats shouldn't be something to be worried about. It's how she goes from this and continue to grow from strength to strength.
another dot ball there from Nyangoma Mariam. Started with a no ball. Free hit was hit for 6. She put in a dot ball, a wide, but she manages to get another dot ball. Britam Samari standing right close to her to try and make sure that she gives her some words of motivation. One of the things you get from the senior players. That's played down the ground straight to her, and brilliant stop there from Mariam Nyangoma. She gets an applause, and I think it's a sign of motivation for the youngsters. Nyangoma Mariam was one of the players who were here last year when we had the Laika Super T20 tournament, a franchise tournament that happened and won by CP Trekkers. She is from Masindi Secondary School, touch and go. And another run there added onto the total by Stefan Nampina.
I like the athleticism being shown there by Nyangoma. To be able to field off your own bowling and throw the ball with one hand off balance shows you that the conditioning is not that bad. And they can get better because many of the girls still pint-sized, small bodies. Going for a big flourishing drive, but straight to Konsa Aweko. Asmina Krut has been kept quiet this over because all the hitting has been done by the skipper, Stefan Nampina, who is playing like the Dawn and happy to play second fiddle in this build up to the what we will think will be a fine back end to the innings, with the scores now on 52 for 1 after 8.
The change that brought in Nyangoma Mariam has seen her go for 10 runs. Someone would feel that even Constance 1 over went for 10. But there is another change in the bowling attack from the show end as Ritam Samal is taken out of the attack. And Sarah Tino is brought to bowl. Tino Sarah, part of the reserves for that under-19 team that played for Uganda in the qualifier, which was in Rwanda in 2023. From Light Secondary School, Tino Sarah, one of the fine bowlers that are in this Karuma Rapids outfit. She'll be bowling to the experienced Stefan Nampina, who is on 14 of 12. And there she comes, a bit of a half tracker, but just dubbed back to her. Good bowling areas there from Tino Sarah, not giving her a lot of room to work around with.
She has also played for the Ugandan team, 8 matches with 9 wickets. Chance for a catch. 128. None taken. Nisima Peace. It's Anna Kawomera. She's just come on for Hope Shilambeza as the substitute fielder.
That's played down the ground. Straight to Proskovia Alako for another single. Not a bad plan there from Saratino. And a good idea from the Karuma Rapids, making sure that some of these youngsters are given opportunity to bowl in the mid-overs when the field is ready spread. That is in the gap. Should go all the way. And yes, another boundary there from the Dawn. Just going on one knee and sweeping that one. She swept it wide, but into the gap. Boundary for the Bujjagali Rafters.
Beautiful boundary from the Dawn. Was asking to be hit there, and she makes them pay. Getting the boundary, she gets 1 run, and you can hear the applause from the daggers. Everyone saying Webale, Webale, of course, translates easily into thank you.
Last ball coming in there from Tinosara to complete over number 8. They've touched there from Asmin Akrut. And that will mark at the end to the 9th over. 59 for 1 is the score after 9 overs. This is match day number 3 of the Waterfalls Women's Elite Tournament happening here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. A tournament sponsored by Scope Energy, Smart Energy, Smart Living, Rajgas Pro, Leica Mobile, and Cricket Uganda. If you support Rajgas Pro, Scope Energy, and Leica Mobile, you keep them in business. We are also in business. After all, the girls will come and play. Leica Mobile dealers in data and subscribe the bundles. So make sure that you support them, get a SIM card and get their bundles. Rajgas Pro dealing in gas, but there is a bowling change for the Karuma Rapids as Nyangwa Mariam is taken out of the attack and Ichumari Josephine of Olida High School is introduced. She starts with 1, a bit full, but good idea there from the Dawn. She says that all the fielders in the inner circle on the offside are hanging right on the circle. She knows there is a gap there for a touch and go. Squeezes it there, and the subsequent bowling change. Mariam Nyangwa being told by the wicketkeeper Elok Esther to move in a bit, try and make sure that she closes that gap. Bit full there to the blade and driven down the ground, straight to Fiona Kulume at long on. Josephine Ichumar is the sister to Natasha Amenyo, who's also played cricket not represented for the teams, but one of the proud people who played for Olila High School back in the days, and still doing a lot of work there with the Soroti City Cricket Club. Josephine Ichumar started playing her cricket right in primary at Nakatunya Primary School. Not so many years ago. She's going to be doing her Form 3 this year. But she was the head girl for that school. Chance to catch. Ritam Samai doesn't put down many of those. And Asmin Akrut will be the batter to depart. A bit flighted. Asmin thought it was the ball to hit. Just didn't play it over the head of Ritam Samali at mid-off. Second wicket there for the Karuma Rapids.
This is how it all happened. Set her very up. Outside off stump. In the zone. But the lack of power behind the shot. From a one, Akurut, who was swinging very hard. She only holds out, and Musamali does a fine job trudging backwards and completing the catch. And as she falls, Ichuma will be happy picking up a wicket in her first over. Score is 63 for 2 now. Stefani left with the mantle to do the job as the skipper, and the umpires duly call the drinks break. Yes, normally happens at the 10-over stage, and with the wicket falling, tells the umpire to call them for the break a little early, 3 balls earlier.
Ariokoti Malisa is the new batter in, and Josephine Ichumar will come to bowl the last 3 overs to complete the 10th over. Yesterday we saw that the Bujjagali Rafters, one of the teams that backs the ability of having some good partnerships. They had a 70-run, 60-wicket partnership between Nyamere Divine and Mwanga Ruth that saw them win yesterday against the favorites, the Itanda Kayakas. Marisa Yokota and Josephine Ichumar are schoolmates at Olila High School. They've trained together for quite some time. So she knows the thing also about the batting of Marisa. Though Marisa is an experienced campaigner, the fact that she's played for the Victoria Pearls and the baby Victoria Pearls. Last ball, ended the over, played with power down the ground, but straight to Ritam Samali, and that will mark the end of the over. Not a bad start for Josephine Ichumar. She's given her 4 runs and picked up a wicket, managing to get rid of Asmin Akrut. And after 10, 63 for 2 is the score.
Yesterday, the Bujjagali Rafters showed another dimension to their game as a unit, and their coach, Jonathan Sebanja, proved that he is learning quickly on the job as he returns to coaching women's cricket. The middle order finally firing when the seniors failed at the top. The middle order came through at 47 for 6 and lifted their team to chase down that stiff target that was set over 116. Mwanga Ruth and Divine Nyamer winning the plaudits. But today the seniors have added some gist to their games as well, contributing with the bat at the top of the order. Akrut Asumin, not a newbie in the setup. She's played for Uganda at the under-19 level. And now she has showed that she can still be able to bat and mix it with her bowling without her bowling making her batting go down a level. Kevin Awin already with a half century in the tournament. The Don has been contributing as a skipper with small figures here and there, but those have been vital in partnerships where she has been happy to play second fiddle. Now, Malisa Riokot, another one who has been playing boldly, joins the skipper. For me, she's no longer one for the future, Malisa. She's come of age nicely, and it's time for her to take on a leadership role in a franchise team like this one. She comes into bat at 2 down, and they know that they have protection and cover with Mwanga Ruth here to come. Kongai Tracy Mercy and Divine Nyamer. So, very well set for the Rafters, who could leap to the top of the log now with a victory here, only if they can pick up this W. 63 in 10 translates into 126 in 20. Can it be more? Or can the Rapids come and wreak some havoc?
The thinking of Stefan Napina, the captain for the Bujjagali Rafters, is that anything above 120 should be defendable for her side. Despite the early departure of Kevin Awino, they've really made sure that they fight back from 3 for 1 to 66 for 3. And still motoring on. A bit sloppy there from Shilambeza. Shilambeza has been struggling with some bit of cramps, maybe resulting from the very long break. Yesterday before the games, she was with the physiotherapist getting some attention. We've seen her walk off momentarily before Anaka Omera came on. But she has a 33-run knock in this tournament for the Karuma Rapids, so you need her in your team. But she's not been the best of fielders thus far. We saw her misfielding at the fine leg side. But that single will mark the end to the over. 4 runs coming off the 11th, and 68 for 2 is the score.
If it ain't broken, don't fix it. Skipper says, Ichuma, you did very well. Just the 4 runs in your first. Please come through for the second. And she continues from where she let off. A dot ball. Bowling better than, for me, senior bowlers like Konsa Weko, Saratino. She's been tidy thus far. Hopefully I don't jinx her. She bowls one, chance for a catch. Alako catches air. It goes off her fingertips and she's feeling the pain. Yes, when you drop them, that's how much painful they be. Keep your eyes on the ball. She moved in nicely, and that is a chance put down. And that would have been a beautiful wicket to complete. She's still there grimacing in pain. The Rafters won't be worrying too much. But I tell you what, it's a dropped catch and she needs to wake up and smell the coffee. It's very early. Someone needs to tell her good morning, Alako.
Should it have been Alako of all the batters that would have, of all the fielders that would have expected to put that one down. Clearly a chance, and a big one, the Dawn trying to swivel it over the mid-wicket area. Proskovia Alako should have held onto that one because they had the chance of picking up a very big wicket, a wicket of Stefan Nampina, who is motoring on at 29 of 23. Unfortunately, she could not get hold onto the chance. Chance put down, another moment to leave. The Waterfalls Women's LA Tournament is sponsored by Raj Gas Pro. You can reach out at www.rajgaspro.com to see the gas offers that they do have. When you support them, you're supporting us. And the girls will be in business. They are your trusted LPG partner. Scope Energy, Smart Life are also available. So when you need safe clean gas that you can use in your homes or in your factories, make sure that you reach out to them. Leica Mobile, the sponsors of Cricket Uganda. Leica is a mobile service company. They deal in data, subscribe the calls. So if you reach out to them and put them in business, you're putting cricket in business. All those have put resources together to make sure that the girls come here for 5 days and play from the different parts of the country. The girls coming from Soroti, Gulu, Masindi, Jinja, and Kampala, who are all making sure that they knock on the doors. Momentarily off the pitch, Proskovia Alako and Anka Omera returns again to do some bit of fielding. 72-42 after 11.2.
Put down catches like that, you will be hoping that they'll also put you down. Fortunately, cricket doesn't work like that. When you put down a big player like the Dawn, you are left running on empty fumes. Because now in her second life, you start counting from 0. And now as she reaches 30, you know, it would have been different. Scoreboard would have been reading 3 wickets with a big player out. And you expose the middle order batters early. So Alako, no love lost, but there's work to be done. Good stop there from Konse Aweko. Big drive from Malisa Ariokot, who's on 1 from 6. Malisa goes downtown. Egaru does very well to clean up at the long on boundary. Ichuma, I like. She's giving the ball some air. She's giving it a fine trick. And she's bowling that line outside off stump. If you've got to hit her, you must have a proper skill set. And she ends up the over there. Fine stuff from Ichuma Josephine. A very good hustle from her. Her 2 overs now gone for 10. This particular over, she's gone for 6 because there was a drop chance by Alako in mid-wicket where she went for 4. Would have been better for her. As the scoreboard now does read 74 for 2 for the Rafters.
Saratino, who's so far given out 12 in 2 overs, returns to bowl, starts with a flated ball. A longer straight there from Marisa Ariokot, but just plays it backward of point for just a single. 74 for 2 after 12, despite wickets falling for the Bujjagali Rafters. They have tried to make sure that they maintain the momentum. Every batter who's come in has shown that they are set for the task. That is hit with power down to the deep mid-wicket to find Consulate Awekoni Mungu, who cuts that one to just a single. Protection for Tinosara is a deep square leg, deep mid-wicket, long on and longer off. She's flighting the ball, stamping, and yes, given by the umpire. Gotten out of her crease and stamped off a wide. Marisa Ariokot will be unhappy to depart. after that good glove work by Esther Iloko.
Very guilty there, Malisa Ariokot. And as she walks off, she knows she does down to no music. Because Saratino saw her jumping out of the crease early, very, very early, before she released the ball. So what Saratino did is she threw it wider off the crease, says, let me concede the wide, but let's get the big W. The big W here is not the win, but the big W for the moment is the wicket that the Rapids needed. Saratino, good brains, small body, very well done on you. Malis Ariokot will take the walk.
Ruth Mwanga now being promoted down the order. Yesterday she came in at number 6. And now she's coming at number 4. Sorry, number 5. She got a fine unbeaten 42 yesterday. And she's been given an opportunity. When she comes in, there is protection. Deep mid wicket. Deep square leg. Long on, long off. Flatted and driven down the ground. Rangamuth has some power, but not full commitment there on stopping that ball by Tinosara. Clear that was in her zone.
When you say player like Mwangaruth coming out in the middle and giving it the full face up front, not afraid, and making sure that everyone watching does believe that yesterday was a flash in the pan, a one-off. It's a good sign, a good sight. A little misfit there. And they'll come through from the second. Ichuma Josephine, the guilty party. But the backup from Egaro, who has showed a lot of awareness, is superb. Mwangaruth on the strike again. Again, another full face with that long stride up front. Alako back on the field. Now standing right in front of the scoreboard. Fine over there from Saratino.
Back into the bowling attack, Josephine Ichumar. She's so far given away 10 runs and she's picked up a wicket in her 2 overs, and now she returns with a dot ball. She's been a fine player so far. That is a very full, but not hit well by Stefan Nampena. Proskovia Alako back with a fine stop at deep mid wicket.
Chuma already bowling her 3rd over. She's done very well, just the 11 runs from the 2.2. Alako briefly off, but she's back. The skipper needs to be on the park as a team fight, and she says, yes, I will not be sitting out for long. Very well driven by Mwanga. Patricia Malmekia on the bike. She'll chase and catch up. I like how Mwanga finds gaps easily. She's making batting look like a beauty to watch. Batting is always a tough art. Sajab, you'll know more about why batting is a tough art. But the way Mwanga is playing, maybe you should go get some lessons from her. She's just early in her innings, but she's finding the middle of the bat with every stride. And she's giving the fielding side a lot of things to think about. You can see how Ilok is busy changing the field settings. That's a little dart outside off stump. She plays and misses everything. Flight on offer. Mwanga doesn't capitalize. Just there, hitting it straight back to the bowler, who does a fine job to stop it. End of the over. Into the 80s now. After 14.
Sarah back with her final over. That's pulled down to the deep square leg area. Fumbled by Cons Aweko, but she manages to make a comeback to cut that boundary. Too much confidence in that fine stop. And through her feet, but she manages to make a comeback.
Yeah, good recovery skills there from Akonsi Aweko. Knowing that I didn't get a hold of it at the first time of asking, but I can do better. Big shot. This will be 4 to the total. Mwanga Ruth and Stefan, the Don Nampina, save your legs, because that was struck nicely just out of the middle of the bat. It was always going to be a boundary.
You look at those two shots that have been, those two balls that have been bowled to the body. They look to be easy pickings for Stefan Nampina, because that is her area to hit. If Tinosara was wide, was clever, she could have bowled it far on the offside, because that one, Stefan Nampina just stepped in the line of the ball and managed to guide it with the bat backward of the square. That should be the area. Let her keep playing there, because she doesn't score many. You have protection on the front of the square at long on and long off. So you force Stefan to drive down the ground.
For me, I like how the Bujjagali Rafters have grown from game to game after losing the first, when they were hit for 120. I beg your pardon, it was 112 when they lost by 37 to the Tanda Kayakers. Mwanga Ruth holds out. Saratino strikes. Ichuma with the catch in the covers. Mwanga Ruth just throwing her hands, extended arms at it. No real movement. And she pays the price.
Another wicket there for the Bujjagali Rafters, falling down. Ruth Mwanga to descend back to the dugout early. Nosara picks up a second wicket in this innings. Good work being done by the Karuma Rapids to keep the pressure on. Tinosara flighting it and flighting it full. These are pickings there at covers by Josephine Ichumar to see off Ruth Mwanga.
8-9 as Divine Nyamer walks out to bat. Divine Gabriel Nyamer from Soroti to the world, like they always want to say. Very fine spinner, leading wicket taker in the National T20 League last season. But she showed that she's got some good long levers in her repertoire as part of her game. And today is a fine day for her to come out here and maybe hit out a few. Tinosara with her first wicket of the day, I beg your pardon, her second of the day, and with just one delivery left in her spell.
off the mark with too much power there, Divine Gabriela. The bowler saw that one race past her, and the Divine already gets off the mark to bring up 90 runs after 15 overs for the Bujjagali Rafters. Yesterday, in the 70 runs wicket partnership for the 7th wicket of the Bujjagali Rafters between Divine Nyameri and Mwanga Ruth, Divine contributed 24 of 23. That's a strike rate above 100. Because Mwanga was striking it better than her, there has been a change, switch in numbers. She's been promoted. Mwanga was promoted down the order. Power down the ground there by Josephine Ichumar. I beg your pardon, by Divine Gabriela, as Josephine Ichumar returns to bowl her last.
Fine figures for Ichuma there. Good control. 1 for 14 in 3.1 now. The Don goes downtown. Bang. 6 runs. Ichuma straying for the first time in her spell. And her figures will be rearranged a bit there. Once Stephanie goes down to play that shot, ground. Run out. They don't get it fully. Heart in the mouths of the Bujjagali Rafters. Big swing outside off. No contact for the Dawn. Ichuma trying to end on a high after going for a 6 in the over. Cut very hard, but straight to Consulate Agweko Nimungo, former captain of the Victoria Pearls. Quite many former captains of the Victoria Pearls are in this franchise league. 2 balls left in the spell of Josephine. Hit straight down the ground to long on, where there is Egaru Kulume. It ricochets off her knee, but she cuts it off nicely. And it's 1 run to end the over. 98 for 4 after 16 overs for the Rafters.
The experienced Consulate Aweko Nimungu is back into the attack. She gave away 10 in her first over, a bit many when you look at her quality. 98 for 4 after 16. Just making the necessary field settings. Deep fine leg. I beg your pardon, deep square leg. Deep mid wicket. Long on and extra cover, all protecting the boundary for Consi Aweko as she bowls to the Don Stephanie Nampina. Stefan, 3 runs shy of getting a half century in her name, will be the second in this tournament because her teammate Kevin Awino has one already. A bit flattered and hit. Chance to catch. Not the best of skills there from Malemikia. She backed. She went backwards instead of going forward, take the catch. And Stefan Nampina brings up a half century.
First half century for Stefan Nampina. What that half century does, not only does it become a personal milestone, but also helps her team get to the 100-run mark. And this is how she did it all, straight and full in the middle from Kose Naweko Mungu. No second guessing for Nampina, who hits it and bounces right in front of Malmekia before it nutmegs her and goes all the way to the boundary. Changing the field setting there, Alako says, I'll be your man, or I'll be your player to protect that zone. Good stop from Tikabula. It was also asking to be hit, but now the Mungu, when she's hit for a boundary and a ball that she goes middle, straight and full, with her little leggies, she strays onto the pads, and she could have gone for another boundary, but she's been lucky. 2 back-to-back dot balls. I know Nampina is not afraid. She would like to take on her fellow experienced seasoned campaigner on the international scene. That's in the air. Who wants that? Alako running very fast underneath it, but to bounce right in front of her. Her teammate got 51 from 44 to play the play of the match the other day. Kevin Awino on match day number 1 in the afternoon. And now the Don says, I'm the skipper, and I'll show you if you can get a half century. I can get one as well. Edge. No catch taken. Divine Nyamer trying to copy the same template from her skipper and hit out a few.
52 of 41. That knock there by Stefan Nampina is the highest individual score in the tournament. Hit and hit well. Should go all the way for a maximum. Stand and deliver. Nyamer Divine Gabriela just using her height to bounce onto that one. Not a very good over there from Consulate Awekoni Mungu, as she's gone for 11 after giving away 10 in her first.
End of the over now. Big over there. 11 off the over. Consis figures 21 now in 2 overs. And the score is working in favor of the Bujjagali Rafters. 109 for 4 after 17. And hitting that one straight down the line. He said the blades are hot for the Rafters. Everything going their way as Egaru Kulume comes back into the attack. She has best bowling figures on the international scene. 6 wickets for 11 runs. Kulume, Egaru. There's Divine for you. Saratino on the bike. She has Josephine Ichuma right behind the bike. They don't get to the station in quick time. And that's why the Rafters pick up 2 runs. Nyamer Washington also shot that had 24 yesterday of 23. Was no flash in the pan. Always nice in sports, all in your life, Ivan, not to be a one-hit wonder. In Uganda, you have many musicians who have been that, including the late Master Blaster.
I knew you could be the first musician to come. Yeah, but Innocent, speaking about being a one-night stander, you need to keep a bit of consistency. A person like Kevin Awino, who scored a half century in her first game, she had complemented it with maybe 20s or 30s. Could have been good performance. But in the next game, she scored a single digit, just 1 run. In the next game, she was out for a duck. Really doesn't tell so much about her good display. If she could somehow keep in the 20s, when you went into the Globals, Immaculate Naksui got a half century in one of the games. But what lacked for her was that she did not get any other score above 30 in all the other games. So that really doesn't work good for so many of the players. Take your time, play your cautious cricket, and make sure that you get the runs. But somehow the Bujjagali Rafters have gotten runs on board. 113 after 4 means that with this final ball of the 18th, in the remaining 2 overs, with the crickets they have at hand, they can maybe try and make sure that they get over the 120, close to 130. Let's sit down the ground for another single. And that will mark at the end of the over. 114 for 4 is now the score after 18.
Good bowling there from Egaru Kulume as she finishes her third. Third over goes for just 5 runs. And her figures are 1 for 15. Scoreboard 114 for 4 after 18 overs.
The senior players will bowl the last 2 overs of this game. Of course, Aweko coming to bowl the penultimate over means that Fiona Egaru Kulume will bowl the last over. That is up and chance to catch. Fiona Kulume gets hold on to that catch. And Nyamer Divine Gabriela will have to depart. Good work there. A forward running catch by Fiona Kulume to give the Karuma Rapids something out of nothing. As at the end, Koslet Awekoni Mungu gets a wicket, 115 for 5. But that is the intent that was really needed by the Bujjagali Rafters. Try and make sure that they keep motoring on. Tossed up and hit in the air by Divine Nyameri. And out she goes. That's the replay right in your frame. She thought it was in the act for beating, but he had to take Fiona Kulume. A lot of running and a lot of ground to cover before she got hold on to that catch. Sonia Nampera will be the new batter in, walking in to replace Divine Nyamer Gabriela. Sonia Nampera in. She will get a test of her medicine. She's a spinner. Hits one, hits it straight. But there is Patricia Malemikia with a fine stop for just a single. Some good intent being shown by Nampera. She knows they have 5 wickets at hand. Not so many overs are remaining. So if you get the runs that you get here, should be the runs that guide your team to victory.
Taking instruction, I know, from Jonathan Sebanja, the coach. He tells them not to be shy. There's no fear of failure here. Says you go down, hit as many as you can. We need to be scoring more runs. Umpires will have a discussion. For whatever reason, I don't know, because the bowler didn't appeal. And the batter too didn't show that he hit straight to the bowler. So I don't think it's a wicket. All should be good. Juma Gabula and the ICC acclaimed umpire there, Sharon Atula. There was one running to fine leg umpire to ask. And well, it's all good. My thinking was right, spot on. I could make a very good umpire, I think, in my other career, if I ever started.
Yeah, she just had to come and confirm and see if that carried. Creates some room. Stefan Nampina plays it backward of the square, but fumbled again by Rashida Kavula. Short fine to give Stefan Nampina a chance of taking up another single.
With the leading individual score of the tournament, 56 now for her. The highest score before her today was 51 from 44 from her teammate, Kevin Awino. Fine end to the over from Nimungu. Her first 2 overs went for 21, but her third over has been fine, much better. A wicket in it and just the 3 singles. Her figures now a little more respectful for her seniority. 1 for 24 in 3 as the Rafters finish the penultimate over with 117 for 5. Butterfingers from Proskovia Alako, they say if you can't catch, you don't have business playing cricket. Twice she's put down Nampina. That's the reason why Nampina is gliding along nicely. Now she's into the 60s. And it's a final over from Kulume. Nampina will go this time around. Musamali right underneath it and says, Alako, if you can't catch, you on your own. I'll do much better as a senior player. That's the reason I'm your vice captain at the national level. And she does complete a super fine catch. Her heart went flying off Musamali, but she held on nicely. Superb stuff. You can't fault the skipper of the Rafters, Nampina. She's played like a real don today. 62 from 47 before she holds out in the deep.
Top knock there from Stefan Nampina. She came early. She came in at number 3, replacing Kevin Awino, who had fallen when the team had just the 3 runs. But she's managed to build back at the innings and making sure that she gets her side to a more respectable total. 123 for 6 is now what the scoreboard reads for the Bujjagali Rafters. She's really led from the up front as a captain. The Rafters lost the opener, but they have gotten some sorts of form and they have won their previous 2 games. 123 for 6 after 19.2 is what the scoreboard reads. Kevin Amuge is the new batter in. Plays one down the ground, fumbled by the fielder, Mariam Nyangoma, to give them chance to take 2. And yes, they will take the 2 runs.
Nyangoma, these youngsters, they need to grab this opportunity with both hands. I feel they're playing with some timidness. Get out of your shell. Play bold cricket. Enjoy the game. If you're not having fun, there's no reason why you should be playing the game as a youngster. We came to play cricket for the first time, and I can tell you, I was looking forward for that special meal we used to have at lunch. And maybe a drink later after the game. And that pocket money that used to come from the elders whenever I was going back to Macquarie College. So enjoy the game as a youngster. There's nothing holding you back. There is no pressure whatsoever. But Nyangoma must as well rise to the occasion. Here's Kulmegaru bowling with her cap on. Fine tickle from Amuge, a bowler in her everyday life, but she's showing that she's got some long levers. She can mass a few down the ground. Her strike rate, not bad whatsoever. And the over has been good. The final over, 126 now for 6. Amuge on 3 from 2. And Nampera Sonia on 1 from 2. Hitting the covers. Amuge wants to run. Yes, let her run. But she ran out. Nampera sold down the river. But no worries again whatsoever, like we're saying. Continue hogging the strike and running for wherever you can. And this is why Nampera has perished. Egaru Kulume straight in the middle, but she was holding the pose and posing for the tournament photographer Lilian Nachitende instead of taking off quickly for the single. That's why she's perished.
Clearly, if she had taken off very quickly for a single, maybe she could have had a chance to put some bit of pressure on the fielder. A fumble could have happened, or maybe she could have made her ground. In the end, she perishes. 126 for 6 after 19.5. Final ball of the innings. Beatrice Ayoko walks in to replace Sonia Nampera. Kevin Amuge is now on strike. What can she do to this very final ball of the innings?
Exactly what she wanted. She wanted to be on strike to face her friend. But when she swings for the heavens, close her bat a little too early, she misses everything. So, and this is how the things will end. That graphic will be put right. If you're watching through, please share that link from Cricket Uganda YouTube page to everyone else, because the Rafters have just put on the highest score of the tournament, 126 for 7. They didn't win the toss. The Rapid says we have the firepower to chase, and we would like to chase. Ivan Cyprian Sajabi, take us to that batting scorecard over the Bujjagali Rafters.
So not only it is the highest score of the tournament, but we've also seen the highest individual score of the tournament being scored earlier on by Stephanie Nampena, 62 of 48. Karuma Rapids, who have lost 2 games, batting first. They won the toss and side. Today we will chase. With their captain Proskovia Alako saying we need to take a little more responsibility, but her fielding with 2 dropped chances that gave away over up to 10 runs. Really, responsibility has not been taken. Kevin Awino opened the batting alongside Aswin Akrut. Kevin departed early with 1 off 6. Aswin Akrut, 36 of 35. Stephen Dampina came in at number 3, 62 of 48. Contributions from Marisa Arioko, 3 of 8. Mwanga Ruth, 3 of 9. And Divine Nyameri Gabriela, 11 of 9. Sonia Nampera, 1. And Kevin Amuge, 3. 126 for a loss of 6 after 19. After 20 overs is what they have managed to post in the Bujjagali Rafters. Kolume Fiona bowled 4 overs, picked up 2 wickets, and she's gone for 24 runs. Saratino's 4 overs have gone for just 25 runs. The economical figures where she's picked up 2 wickets. Josephine Ichimeru's 4 overs have gone for 21, and she's picked up just a single scalp. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a short break and we will be back with the second innings where the Bujjagali Rafters will be defending 126, meaning the Karuma Rapids will need 127 for victory for the first win in this tournament.
tulitandike. Kuza Innocent kurudi forward. Lugogo. Yes, it's at day 3, game number 5 of the Waterfalls Women's Elite League, the 2026th edition. It's a time to work for the Rapids of Karuma. Bujjagali already did their bit. Now it's about how they complement the hustle. 126 is what they got. Here is Kevin Amuge from the Jija Road end. Big flourishing drive, chance for a run out. Not converted, but a beautiful effort from Beatrice Aiko in the covers. Off the mark. Immediately there from Esther Iloku, the keeper batter of the Rapids. They need as many runs early on in the innings. Also, it's important that they score the runs early on. Okay, like to find rhythm. Touch and go. Chance for a run out. Sent back in that crease immediately. Telling her you're going nowhere. It's too early for you to start running around. Another pitch of delivery, some swing on that one. The score will remain on 1. Hope Sheila and Beza will know a thing or two about how Amuge swings that ball. Lots of good movement for Amuge. Another good delivery just outside of stump. The same movement and swing doing the rest of the job. She would love to continue the hustle done by the opening bowlers over the Rapids. Dot ball after dot ball is the name of the game for Kevin Amuge as she bowls for the Rafters here, the first over. Doing copy and paste from what Egalu Kulume and Patricia Malmekia did for the Rapids in the first innings. Another swing and a miss. Mbeza can't see the ball. She can't put bat on the ball. And for Amuge, who wraps up a very beautiful over that goes for just 1 run, it's been a case of now you see me, now you can't. As soon as she releases the ball, looks like she disappears in thin air like an invisible magician wearing a Russian clock. First over gone, just the 1 run. Iluko now on strike. Over number 2. And 26 runs required for the Rapids. 126 from 114 balls. 5 dot balls in the opening over. That dot ball percentage could easily win them the game. Here's one with energy, real raw energy, and some raw pace. The young Malisa Ariokot. Cut very well, but straight to the fielder. A much improved fielder here. She's grown 2 to 3-fold in terms of fielding. The teacher, the left armer, Sarah Akiteng. Her friends love to call her Kitty. Tight affair here for the Rapids in this chase because the Rafters are dealing in dot balls, and duly so. Dot balls are like gold dust. They win you matches. Five dot balls in the first over, 3 now in this second. No run. Beatrice Aiko right onto that one. Dot ball affair continuing here to run the town for the Bujjagali Rafters, asking all the big questions of the abilities of the Karuma Rapids. Right in the block hole there, Malisa Riokot saying, if you're going to score today, you've got to play better. That is a beautiful maiden, ball to the experienced Esther Iloko to begin things here for Malisa and the Rapids. 1 run in the first over, a maiden in the second. This is good stuff. The hustle is real good for the Rafters. $102 balls left, still 126 to win. Here is Amuge for the second. Hope Shilambeza playing and missing everything. Kakande Ivan, the coach, will not be a happy man. Same affair. I don't think Amuge will be changing her lines anytime soon with the way Hope Shilambeza has come out to bat. Looks like her bat has got a hole in it. That when she shapes, the ball seems to go through the middle of that hole in her bat. That has been the affair. She'll get off the mark with a 4-chase single there. I didn't know much about that one. The fielder would have done better. Amuge, businesswoman today. Real big business. Wicket will improve her figures. Edge. Beating that edge over Iloku. Two 4-chase singles now in the third over. Pass real good shot, but Mwanga Ruth sprawling on the ground does well to cut it off. You can see what the Rafters have done. It's a packed offside. Third man in place where Sarah Akiteng is. There is a point. There is a galley point. There is a cover and there is a short cover as well as a mid-on. Packed affair on the offside for the Rafters. Another superb movement in the air and off the wicket from Kevin Amuge. Had 2 overs. I've gone for 4 runs. Superstar. She gets a pat on the back from the keeper, Kevin Awino, her namesake. And you can see the equation for the 2 batters. Esther Iloku, 2 from 9. Hope Shilambeza, 2 from 9. They're moving at 1.33, and the score is 4 without loss. Big appeal here. Not out. Mbeza living dangerously. Swing and a miss. Malisario Court coming through here with good energy levels. And yes, and why not? Just the 1 match day for them. Just the 1 match for them today. And they can go get a breather. It's in the air, but it's in the gap. Sarah Kitty Akiteng gives up almost immediately as soon as the shot is played. Flying blade. Flying indeed. And it's up 4 runs. They break their shackles belatedly, but they will be happy they've mixed some runs off the bowling of Malisa Ariokot as the score moves now to 8 without loss. Malisa Tumbeza. Touch and go. Chance for run out. She's right in there. Home safe and dry. They didn't call with conviction, and neither did they run with conviction. They're only lucky saved by the poor throwing from the fielding unit of the Rafters. Here we come now. Onto her pads. Good fine flick down the line to fine leg. The running is good between the wickets. And they get a couple of runs again. Yes, the runs are starting to flow now. First 2 overs, I've only given them 4 runs. Now into the 4th over and 5 runs. Hit very hard. But to Saraki Teng, who I continue to tell you has improved when it comes to fielding over the years. Now that's the end of the 4th over. Hope Shilambeza and Esther Iloku continuing to hustle here. 11 without loss. Changing the bowling, Mwanga Ruth, heroine from yesterday, with the bat. She's been getting the ball early today. An all-rounder in the making here. Ruth Mwanga, named after one of the most outspoken kings, Uganda Kingdom. Mwanga, ruthless every time you mention that name. You send shivers down the spines of many other kingdoms as well as the Europeans who came to colonize. Mangaruth as well, continuing the fine hustle of the bowling unit of the Rafters who've relied on pace up front. My name is Innocent Daula, but I'm not alone in the comms box. I have Ivan Sajab. He's been doing some media duties for the association because, you know, in this other word is the chance for run out. Oh no, throw his bed. I was still introducing Ivan. Another word is the media coordinator for the association, as well as the website content manager. Still, oh, it's now midday, sharp. I want to tell you good morning, but the time has flown by. As you can see, Mwanga Ruth there continue to work hard. They hustle very. I'll introduce Sajabi at the end of the over. Let him have a breather. Storylines from where he has been and what they talked about, because he had some good reality company with him. Mwanga Ruth. In the middle, in the line. This time around, Mbeza is asked not to come through because they've been taking a lot of risky runs, and their coach, Ivan Kakande, has been standing up in their tent, in their dugout, urging them to put bat on ball and try to look for runs early on, reminding them that this is the power play. If you fear to hit the ball in the power play, when will you even hit it? It wasn't happening. They had only 4 runs in 2 overs. Again, they are a swing while closing her eyes. You'll never connect anything, I tell you, Sheila. End of the over now. Fine hustle from Mwanga Ruth. Our first over goes for 2 runs. And the score at the end of the 5th over is the Karuma Rapids have 13 without loss. Ivan, good afternoon.
Thank you, Innocent. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, viewers. Happy to be back in the comms to see where this ends. 127 to get for the Karuma Rapids to pick up first victory this tournament. Yesterday, Mwanga Ruth picked up just a single wicket, but most of her contribution came with the bat. My thinking is, since she's an all-round and she didn't contribute with the bat today, maybe she should be looking at bowling a very, very faint spell like when she bowled earlier on. Her first over has gone for just 2 runs. But there is a bowling change. The bowler who took 4 wickets yesterday and was also a player of match contender. But unfortunately, Mwanga still has show. Akurut Asmin, who picked up 4 wickets, will be now the bowling change to come in from the side of the shell. But I tell you, when you look at the way the Karuma Rapids are taking on the chase, they are not really moving very, very close to the required. Opshira Mbeza has a 37-53 in the first game where she batted at number 3. Cleaned up right away is Esther Ilok. Her struggles continue. She scored 2 of 8 in the first game. Doesn't really manage to close her line. 1 in the previous game, and today she's again falling cheaply. Somehow the Bujjagali Rafters will have a breather as they have gotten rid of the dangerous Esther Ilok. 13 for 1 after 5.1.
Look at that walk back. It's like a long day stay in the gardens. They are cultivating the land and returning home with no basket of fruits or food. She's going to stay hungry for the rest of the day. Esther Iloku, the runs have dried out for her in this tournament. And as Akurut Asmin came through, Esther Iloku never gave her a chance to have a look. And immediately she cleaned up the middle stump. Bullseye, and I like the little dance celebration from Asmin Akurut saying, I have got your number. Every time I dial, please pick up. Celebration time. And it's a beautiful wicket to pick. Msamali Rita will walk in knowing her fellow Victoria Pearl in Esther Iloku has failed for the 3rd time in the tournament, and now the heavy lifting entirely lies on her shoulders.
Retam Samali now in to find her OG from Georgia SS of Chilambeza at the crease. Yesterday, Sunakut came into the bowling attack and got a wicket right away. She's already picked one so far. A bit of a half tracker. But I tell you, that is a good area to bowl Ritam Samali. Ritam Samali is very, very good with the drive. But what you could do as a bowler is just keep feeding her bat and force her to drive. She is very, very strong on the onside. That's one of her scoring options. A bit short, but that extra bounce there not worked well by Ritam Samali. A very, very fruitful over coming in from Akrot Asmin. No run so far in the over, already a wicket in the over, more pressure to the Rapids. Goes down and pulls. Divenya Mere will give it a chase, but you will see that one race to the boundary. Off the mark with the boundary is Ritam Samali, aka Sigino.
AKA Tari. She needed runs today. She gets runs up front, 2 balls. She didn't score on the 3rd ball. She's broken her shackles. She gets the boundary column running. And the captain immediately there, Stefan saying, please, senior player, Akiti, go on your marks, your stripes at the boundary. Divine, come through and field in the 30. In the air, momentarily, no run whatsoever. Malisa Ariokot is patrolling that area, a very busy area, and only the best in the business can field there.
Ritam Samali came into this game with 45 runs from 2 innings. A bit loose, but pulled away and pulled in the gap. I told you, Ritam Samali is very, very strong player on the onside. That's played backward of the square, and the fielding change, the change between Devane, Gabriel Nyamer, and Akiteng Sarah did not really stop Ritam Samali from scoring in that area. That's the replay there right in your frame. Akrut Asmin just putting it onto the body of Ritam Samali, and any day she'll pump it to the boundary. End of over. 21 for 1 is the score as we come to the end of the power play. 6 gone. 8 of 17 for Hope Chilambeza and 8 of 5 for Ritam Samali. Hope Chilambeza needs to work on that gap between the runs and the number of balls. But Ruth Mwanga will now return to bowl. She gave away 2 in her first over, and she should be looking at complementing that bowling performance with yet another fine over.
Sajabi, quickly as we go through this over, maybe you can chip in and tell us what beautiful conversations you had and who you were with while you went away and left me alone in the comms box.
You're going out of the comms. We had the chairman of Cricket Uganda, Mr. Karuma Jackson, who was being interviewed by one of our media personnel. And some of the questions that were asked to the chairman was a few of his achievements. That's why I even came to learn that the man has just been in power for only 9 months. This is the 10th month. But in only 9 months, the association has managed to secure land in Nakasaja. So the hope for the chairman is that they can develop that land and maybe cricket will have a new home. And also looking at a very busy year where the calendar of Cricket Uganda was released just a few weeks ago. This is the first ticket on that calendar and it has been fulfilled. It really sets a very good pace, and a box is ticked already early in the year. Also, the other question was about the new Sports Act by the National Council of Sports. Chance to catch, but put down. We're speaking about the new sports law. Cricket Uganda is one of those associations which put papers and they were objected. But the chairman said that now the game is in 99 districts of Uganda, and they hope to get in the other areas in the 5 months that were given to all associations to make sure that they comply. So they hope that the game will continue growing in those areas.
Sajabi will continue giving us those beautiful words from what the chairman happened, but you can see how the boundary has been milked. They are expertly there by Hope Chilambeza, who is continuing to engage the gears in her innings. Mwanga Ruth straying away, and she is punished. Yes, Sajabi, go on about how the game is going to 99 games and how did it go there and how many more districts for Uganda, cricket Uganda to reach or to avoid breaching the NCS Act.
Yeah, the hope for the chairman is that the game still grows and continues even in more districts of Uganda, as it's one of the requirements from the new Sports Act. So he also mentioned the challenges, including calling on the government to make sure that maybe they help the association with the facilities, because there have been some stadiums that have been constructed by the government, including the Hoima one and the Lila one, but these facilities don't accommodate cricket as a sport in its uniqueness. So the government should come out, and with talks of cricket being set out of this venue, the talks also to Chambogo University have not yet matured, because the chairman says even though there is a promise from the chairman, National Council of Sports, the General Secretary, National Council of Sports, Mr. Dr. Bernard Patrick Ogwell, there is no document binding the association and the university. So he hopes that maybe for the association could get that letter to make sure that things are streamlined and clear, as Chambogo being one of the places where the game should go momentarily for some months. Then also, speaking about this tournament, the Waterfalls LA tournament, as the chairman summed up his discussion, he says that most of the players here have been called from the different regions of Uganda. And having them play here means that first, the team which is leading at the association will see what work is being done in the different hubs of Uganda. It also brings all the players together and gives an opportunity for the selectors to make sure that they see all the talent that is available, because this tournament is also a talent identification path and also the first program of the year. So the selectors can get a chance to closely see and monitor some of these players. Then with the busy year, which is having 219 qualifiers and national team engagements, the selectors can go on and pick some of these players to try and make sure that they fill in those teams. That was the talk and the end of over number 7. 27 for 1. Not a very good place to be in if you're a Karuma Rapids fan. And Akrotasmin, who gave away 8 and picked up a wicket in her first, will now return with the ball in her hands for the Rafters from the shell end.
First over, about 4 runs. So now on, Asmina Gupta won't be the one coming here and pulling them, picking up 8 wickets whenever she wants. But the ball means they will get runs. Have to it down the line, but there are runs on board as well. So the strike rotation is important. Putting butt on the ball is even much more important as well. Changing the strike. Approach to ball his 4th. Second over.
Opshilambeza now taking guard. That is driven, but not full face of the bat. Nearly fumbled in the deep, but they will only take a single. Ritam Samali and Hope Shilambeza play for the same club in our local league, Ginger SS Cricket Club. They know a thing or two about each other because they have played together for some time. Hope Shilambeza was captain for the team when Ritam Samali was a player last season. And these two having been coached by Mugola Habib down in Jinja, one of the things that Coach Mugola Habib coaches for the times I've been with him and seen him coaching, he teaches you the drive shot, but also running between the wickets is always a superb. You see it from all the players that have gone through the hands, the likes of Stephen Wabosa, Calvin Watua in the men's setup, Ritam Samari and Stefan Nampina, all being the other good runners between the wickets. End of over number 8, 31 for 1 is the score. I reckon not a very good position for the Rapids.
Ruth Mwanga, her 2 overs have gone for 8 runs. She could have had a wicket in the last over, but the catch was put down in short covers. Big swing and a miss because it's a wide. Umpire will spread his arms out wide to confirm the wild delivery from Mwanga. Shilambeza has moved 14 from 23. Still not good because she's striking it at below 50 when you need a run a ball to win. Whereas Musamali is on 12 from 11, a strike rate of over just 100. In the air, what's that? Someone is running in, and the catch is taken right in front of the umpire. Asumini Akurut with the athletic effort. That is pub stuff. Hope Shilambeza wasn't playing for the Karuma Rapids today. She looked like she was playing for the opposition because her strike rate beggared belief, and as she loses her wicket, continue improving.
She needed to run and cover a lot of ground, assuming Akurut to get hold on to that catch. But Akurut, well known for her athleticism and speed in the field. 32 for 2, Hope Shilambeza departs. She didn't post him any. The asking rate is now 7.92. Current run rate just 3.92. 14 of 24 as Hope Shilambeza departs. 32 for 2 after 8.2 overs. Not sure why Prescott Alako didn't walk in now, because you need your firepower to come a little early. Because when you look at the number of runs and balls for Hope Shilambeza, you would quickly agree that she has wasted some balls for the team. Sloga in for the Rapids. Patricia Malemikia, a surprise change in the batting lineup as she already gets off the mark. Another one worked off the pads there by Ritam Samali to the square leg area for a single. Ritam Samali, 13 of 12. She's made sure that she keeps her strike rate above 100. These two still holding the Rapids close to the finish line. One to the pads, but there was some sound of the bat. 93 from 69 is the equation for the Karuma Rapids to pick up the first win in this tournament. They have a doubleheader today. They will be returning later on in the afternoon to take on the Itanda Kayakers. Another dot ball there for Ruth Mwanga. not giving Patricia Malemikia any room.
Patricia Malmekia, an opening bowler in her heyday, sent in with one job to see leather and hit leather. But she is swinging and she can't get a hold of Mwanga Ruth. Of course, Kach Kakande, you feel for him. He's been put in a scenario where he needs someone who can keep the scoreboard ticking. And the way they're playing here, hide and seek with the clouds, anything can happen. And they will be below the run rate that is required when it comes to the DRS. So what happens now is that they need to get bat on ball. Otherwise, the Rafters will be gliding along seamlessly and smoothly through the rapids of Karuma and winning this one easily. Musamali will be on strike now. The score board reading 34 for 2 after 9. It's not a bad score they have, but just because the Rafters came out to bat with a different template, they had many more runs than what these Rapids are having now. Same stage, same number of wickets. I tell you what, at the same stage, the Rafters already past the 50-run mark.
Bowling change for the Bujjagali Rafters as the experienced Sarah Akiteng. Left arm spinner gets the ball. Starts with a short ball and it is bowled by Ritam Samali. Dive by Sonia Nampera at short fine. Run out chance. Is a pickings there. Patricia Malemikia wanted it run off a somebody ball. And eventually sent back by her batting partner Ritam Samali. She goes to the middle of the wicket, sent back, but then the throw from Kevin Amuge to Kevin Awino helps the Bujjagali Rafters to complete that run out and see off Malemikia Patricia.
The umpires will call the drinks break on a hot but windy January. The requirement is wickets for the Rafters, and for the Rapids is they need runs. So the gamble for bringing in Patricia Malmekia doesn't work for the Rapids. But what works now is that Alako comes in early and she has a chance now to rebuild, to reignite their innings. And that's how it's supposed to be. Let the batters do the job, because now Malmekia was sent in to hit the ball. Instead, she finished trying to run. She should have held fort on one end and tried to swing for the heavens. And maybe glory could have come the way for the Rapids.
She falls with just 1 of 5. Patricia Malemikia. Current run rate 3.82. Required getting close to 10. It's currently in the 9s. The drinks break, as I remind you about the sponsors. Nyakasura Alumni League putting money into this one. Scope Energy, Raj, Gaspro, Leica Mobile, and Cricket Uganda have been our sponsors for this prestigious edition of the Waterfalls Women's Elite Tournament here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. Tournament which brings together all the fine cricket players that we have in the country. 3 teams, 1 champion. The top 2 will be the team to play in the finals on the first day of the 2nd month of the year.
Talk about Leica, you know that when it comes to data, they're unrivaled. The cheapest data packages you'll ever find in the land. And then for Raj Gas Pro, they are your trusted LPG partner. Get that gas going for cheap get it to last you longer for all your home essentials. And then with the Scoop Energy, it is all about smart living and safer living. Many people still have a phobia for gas because many a time it has burned down many people. It has left them injured and bruised. But with Scoop Energy, they give you all that education and teach you everything. And then with the Nyakasura Alumni League, they tell you that, yes, it's all about alumni. When you play the sport in school, please show the love when you leave the school. Nyakasura Alumni League, Nyakasura School producing some of the best talents we have in Ugandan cricket today, from Joseph Baguma to Matthew Musinguzi to Fortunate Alijona, name it all, to Innocent Mwebaze, all these guys who have done the Cricket Cranes jersey. You've got to just look back and see that cricket flows within one fraternity, within one family. And so those people that played cricket at school that will always come back and support. Also, hats off to you, Jimmy Atwaire, for everybody who are watching. The girls will enjoy your prize monies and they will also enjoy your Player of Match cash awards. Stay around longer and make those offers from your deep and big pockets even bigger. They left the teacher in the attack. Alako just leaning back and playing it textbook-like to get off the mark. A little back foot punch into the covers for a single. If you ask me again, Sajabi, and if you look around, you will know that for the Rapids, it's all about these two. If they are to get their W column ticking on that chart, or else they're going to say winless after match day 3, and that could box them out of the tournament.
The captain for the team, Proskovia Alako, not a very new person in captaincy. I saw her captaining Masaka Secondary School at the Girls Nationals. She talked about responsibility well at the toss. She didn't show any responsibility while fielding, but now she has a chance to redeem herself. If she could go for some powerful hits, maybe the Rapids will stand a chance of picking up victory today at Lugogo Cricket Oval. But again, 91 from 63 balls. Required run rate 8.67, current 3.83. The Rapids will need to get a way of accelerating the scoring rate if they are to stand a chance of picking up something from this game and maybe stay alive in the tournament. And on their double-header day, if they win, they carry the momentum forward, they maybe have a chance of upsetting the Itanda Kayakas later on in the afternoon. End of over number 10, 38 for 3 is the score. Match day 3 of the Waterfalls Women's Elite League T20 tournament happening here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. If you've just joined us, the Karuma Rapids won the toss and opted to bowl first. The Itanda Kayakas posted 126 runs in the first innings. 127 for the Rapids to pick up victory. 89 runs from 60 balls with 7 wickets at hand for the Karuma Rapids. Malisa Ariokot, who so far bowled 2 overs that have gone for just 7 runs, will now return with the ball in hands. Longo on, Longo off, 30 man, and deep mid wicket are all patrolling the boundary. Proskovia Alako on the strike, Malisa to Alako. Half tracker played to covers. Fumbled hesitation between the batters. but they will eventually take the run. With Ritam Samari on strike, extra cover is put in place in Kevin Amuge, and Akrotas Min comes up from Longo on, pulls one backward of the square to fine leg. The field changes are for on strike, long on and long off go down, extra cover comes in. Whereas Ritam Samari, there is fine leg put in place and extra cover with long on and long off coming up. Because they know she's very, very good at playing backward of the square. Whereas for Alako, she's explosive front of the square. So you need long on and long off right at the boundary. Left touch and hesitation. No run is taken. Another dot ball there for Malisa Ariokot. Ariokot Malisa, very, very fine figures. She's a 4 ball, 2.3 overs, giving away just 9 runs. 3 of 4 for Proskovia Alako and 16 of 16 for Ritam Samari. The two senior campaigners in the team. Short ball and played backward of the square. The fielder, they are not getting hold on to that chance. And Proskovia Alako will live to die another day. No effort there from the fielder as that chance goes begging. Still the field changes there for Ritam Samari. Fine leg and extra cover introduced. Longer on and longer off come up to mid on and mid off respectively. Short and wide extras onto the runs column for the Rapids. Power and precision there from Marisa Ariokot. Applied to the mid-wicket area for just a single. Marisa Ariokot just making sure that she doesn't go for any boundary this over. And at the end of the over, 43 for 3, the score after 11. Sarah Akiteng, who gave away 4 runs in her first over, will return with the ball from the shell end. 43 for 3 after 11. Not a very good position for the Rapids in this run chase. They need 84 runs from 54 balls. The number of runs needed and the number of balls, that gap is starting to widen. Pulled back out of the square, but straight to Sonia Nampera at short fine. Required raising up 9.33. Current 3.85. Flated and bowls her. Ritam Samari thought that was the ball to sweep. She went into her shot early, missed it completely. That rattles the furniture and a big scalp there taken by the Bujjagali Rafters. 43-4 as Ritam Samali perishes. The Rafters still forcing things here and making sure that they keep close to the victory. That's the replay there right in your frame. Flatted by Sarah Akiteng. Rita went to sweep. She went early, missed it completely, and she had to depart. The departure of Ritam Samali will bring in Fiona Kurume Egaru. 43-4 after 11.2 is now the score for the Karuma Rapids. Drifting away from her completely. Fiona Kurume not anywhere close to that one. Dot ball there. No run given away so far by Sarah Kiteng in this over. She gave away just 4 runs in her first. A bit full, but not enough contact there from Kurume Fiona. Right to the hands of Nyamel Divine as Kurume Fiona pulls that one away, but she doesn't get hold on to the chance. Fiona is off the mark, but another chance is put down.
Could have been 2 scalps for Sarah Akiteng. In the over, 1 clean bowling her fellow senior counterpart in this franchise elite league. Getting to rearrange Ritam Samali's furniture, and now short mid wicket here. The chance is not held on to. Alako has got a lot of work to do. It's not just a small hill, it's a mountain to climb. It's the end of the over. The overs are running quick and fast. 12 now gone, and the score is 4-4-4-4.
Four, 83 from 48 with 6 wickets at hand for the Rapids to pick up victory. Constantly in this game, the run rate has been 3. It has not yet gone to 4. At the end of the first innings, the Rapids felt like they should have given themselves a chance to chase, but now the required run rate from the previous over, it was 9.8. Currently it is 10.38. Kevin Amuge, who has so far bowled 2 overs and given away just 4 runs, will return with the ball. Very, very good spell there from Kevin as she comes to bowl the 13th.
She are brought back by the coach Jonathan Sebanja, saying we don't leave it late. Let's leave the other younger bowlers a lot of runs to play with. She bowled her first 2 overs, very economical. And here she comes with a third. Egaro Kurume goes downtown, says, you're coming a little too close to my liking. Don't come in my office. You want to disrupt my business. I'll send you out of the business by hitting you out of the park. That's a beautiful shot there from Kurume. No respect whatsoever to Amuge.
That was in her slot, and Fiona Kurume Egaro had to deal with it. Boundary for her. Look at the replay there right in your frame. Very, very close to Kurume. and she just had to nudge it into the vacant gap for a boundary. Five of 4 for Fiona Kulume, trying to force things again for the Karuma Rapids. Karuma Rapids, the only team that is yet to pick up victory in this tournament. They've so far played 2 games and lost both games. Innocent Wena had gone for the media duties. The chairman and the coach for the Karuma Rapids were close to each other, as the coach for the Karuma Rapids was tossing to his players before the commencement of the second innings. And when the chairman asked him, could we see you chasing this? The answer from Ivan Kakande, the coach for the Rapids, said that was that caution in the chase will see them win this game. But no responsibility whatsoever has been taken by his players. 48 for 4, not a very good position to be in. They need to make sure that they do something out of their skin. A little more serious batting could maybe put them to that victory line. And if they lose today, the story will not be a good one for them.
Double-headed day for them. They need to keep the energy levels high. The Rapids, what they do here could impact them further, but I like that from Alako. Outside off stump from Amuge. And it's punished, given the duly deserved punishment.
In her first 2 overs, Amuge had very good rhythm, bowling stump to stump. The one that Kulume hit for 4 in that over was to the pads, and this one is given a lot of width. Look at that one, shaping away from Proskovia Alako. She pumps onto it and sends it to the boundary to bring up 50 runs for the Rapids. 53 for 4 is now what they have.
A little belated, but it's all right. Now it's important how she carries on from here. Alako, for me, holds the trump card alongside Egaru Kulume for these Rapids to inch anywhere closer to that 126 that is needed.
Another boundary there in the over. Power Proskovia Alako to complete a fine over. 13 runs off this over by Kevin Amuge. 53 for 4. I beg your pardon, 57 for 4. The replay there. It was in the slot and Amuge managed to pump it to the boundary. Beg your pardon, Alako hitting Amuge. An expensive over. Her first 3 overs went for just 4 runs. But in her third, she's come and given away quite many, 13 runs. And after 13, 57 for 4 is the score. Looks like the Rapids have started to wake up. If only Ritam Samuel had contributed a little more. But now it should be Proskovia Alako and Fiona Egaru Kulume to take on the responsibility. Subsequent bowling change as Sonia Nampera from St. John's Secondary School, Kauga, comes into bowl. She doesn't do a lot, she just darts it to the stumps. And I think this is the over that the Rapids should look to target.
She starts with the wides and see what they do. They still a single under the watch of Kevin Awino. It's 2 wides, long overloading here. She must stay calm and collected. So it's important that when you're given the ball as a spinner, find your lines early on. Don't look to do too much. Too much brings the mistakes and they become costly. Those are 3 wides now already with the ball yet to be bowled. Sonia Nampera bowled very well in the first game, but she was rested for the next 2. Now she wants a chance to again to prove that Her only game wasn't a flash in the pan. Alako's power. Sonia sticks the boot in the way, and she does very well. They will only get one.
I think what was happening for Sonia Nampera was that as she was fielding, she saw one of the good bowlers, Amuga, being taken on in the previous over. So maybe that went into her head. When you look at how Whites have been coming outside off stump, because she doesn't want to get anywhere close to these batters. She's already given away 4 runs with just one good ball bowled in the over. That should be the area for her to bowl. Just keep bowling in your areas and force the batters to play on the onside, on the offside. Don't accept any pressure whatsoever. Deep square leg, cow corner, long on and extra cover, protecting for Kulume. Kulume is bowled as she makes a shimmy down the track, dances and misses the line. Nearly a similar dismissal to the way Ritam Samali fell. The balls have been keeping low on that side of the wicket. Another wicket falls for the Rapids.
And this is how it all happened. Nampera, in her first over, after bowling a couple of wides, she gets one straight, and it's Kulume who walks past one, and she has to go take a shower. Her job for the day is done, and the Rapids are nothing but rapid, because they are in all sorts of trouble. On a day the Rafters would love to dominate and pick up the third.
Josephine Ichumar in to replace Fiona Kurume. These two both play for Olida Cricket Club, Ichumar and Kulume. One is the captain, Kulume to be specific. Josephine Ichumar, looking at her stature, height, she is one of those bowlers that I've seen hitting the ball, but sometimes on big stages, she tends to bluff. And now there she is at a time when the Rapids need to play something out of nothing if they pick up victory. Sonia to Josephine starts with one down the leg. But the umpire confirms that that one brushed the pads and she doesn't call it wide. Oh, no. Let go there from the umpire. That's wide. Sonia Nampera now all over the place. She's been bowling outside off and forcing the players on the offside. But now she's tending to lose her line. A bit full and driven through the cover area. Josephine Ichmaru gets off the mark.
Touch and go fair here. Ichuma off the mark. She will be on strike. Single belong to Alako, not Ichuma. There's Alako with a half jab, but will find the boundary. I beg your pardon, it's Ichuma with a half jab, but will find the boundary because she didn't try to swing and complete the swing. It was just a half swing because she wanted to get it in the middle of the bat, and then she connects and connects fully. That's a very good shot at the end of the day. Just trying to lap it over the infield. A boundary. And that's how it all happened. Faking the bowler and then completing it with the boundary. Ichuma on business here, big over for the Rapids. Yes, they lost a wicket in the over, but they've built 11 runs from it. It's the way to go about the business. They are moving at 4.8 per over. They need many more.
One thing that has lacked in the innings for the Karuma Rapids is the ability to maintain the momentum. 68 for 5 after 14. Sarah Kiteng changes bowling ends. And now she will be coming into ball from the Ginger Road end. Proskovia Lako with 14 off 12. Creates room and plays that on the extra cover to find Kevin Amuge. 59 from 35 is now the equation for the Rapids to pick up victory. Required run rate is 10, current is 4.81. Sama Okulume and Alako accelerated things a bit. Saraktank has fumbled 2.2 overs, giving away just 6 runs and picking up a wicket. Fine fingers there from the experienced. Half tracker and played back out of the square there by Josephine Ichuma. She wanted to guide it, but didn't make enough contact. The umpire confirms that it's off the hip and leg bys are scored. But nonetheless, runs for the Rapids. We'll be having more action in the afternoon as the Rapids return to take on the Kayakers. Creates room and tries to play it on the onside, but that doesn't make meaningful connection there. Proskovia Alako. Tomorrow the tournament takes a rest. And action will return on the 31st. Back on the back foot. That hits her pads. But the issue should have been height. Maybe it could have risen and missed the stumps. As the umpire confirms leg bys. Fine leg down. And extra cover comes up for Josephine Ichumar. Long on, long off, deep mid wicket, all remain at the boundary. Dot ball there from Sarah Akiteng to mark at the end of over number 15. 71 for 5 is the score. Divine Nyamer has been given the ball. Replacing Sonia Nampera from the shell end. Wide and pumped through the cover area there by Proskovia Alako. You hear the sweet sound and the power from her blade. That is to the boundary for 4 runs. What a way to welcome Divine into the attack. Pulls that one away, but there is protection. Takes her time to stop that one. Ruth Mwanga giving them chance to take 2 runs. Proskovia Alako starting to carry the responsibility upon herself. Up and over, but down to the deep mid wicket to find Akrot Asomen with a fine stop, giving them just 1 run. Another lot ball there made up by Divine Nyamer. Last ball to complete the over. Dot ball there from Divine to make up for the boundary that she conceded in the over. And after the 16th over, 79 for 5 is the score. Sarah Kiteng with the half final over. Edge. There is a point fielder there in Sonia Nampera who takes the catch. And Josephine Ichumal will have to depart. Second wicket for Sarah Akiteng. The 6 runs that she's considered in 3 overs, she's added another wicket. Fine figures there from the left-armer.
They've done very well here, the Rafters. They've taken instruction. Their coach has been ruthless. They've been all over the Rapids like a real bad rush. They got runs on board. Their partnerships worked up front. And Nampera, yes, not the best of bowling today, but see how she comfortably takes that one. Hit to her throat, and she swallows it. Nice and easy. Josephine Ichuma comes and goes. Now Konsa Aweko coming out to bat for the Rapids. Then all lot of trouble at 79 for 6. We are into the bowlers immediately.
Up in the air there by Konsi Aweko. Another catch is taken. 2 out of 2 for Sarah Akiteng. Konsi Aweko thought it was the ball to hit, didn't muscle it well. And the Divine Nyamero Gabriela takes a catch at mid-wicket.
The teacher will be on a hat-trick. Loading. Hat-trick ball coming up. And looks like a youngster will be facing the hat-trick ball. That's how Konsi Aweko hold out. Divine Nyamero with the smiles. Because she's just completed an easy catch. Very easy. Alako stuck at the other end. Should be able to pass on some information to them. important how you go about the business as a team. Looks like the Rapids have played, but they haven't played Sajabi. They haven't played without a plan. Yesterday they scored 68 in 8 overs. How they failed to defend that when the Kayakers had 27 in 4, beggars belief. Today they bowled tight up front. Then when they brought in the slow bowlers, they let loose and they were hit all over the place by Stefani and company. 126 highest sort of the tournament will tell you that the wicket has not, because the wicket is supposed to tolerate, but it looks like the batting of Rafters has become better with each passing match, whereas the rest of the teams have gone down a level. So I would like to see Ivan Kakande have a very long chat with the girls, because they're going to have a rest. Remind them of the responsibilities, remind them of the purpose and the reasons why they're playing in such a tournament.
I tell you, Innocent, the Rapids know their weakness is that they have failed to take responsibility, but they have failed to address that weakness. And just like that, they are at the brink of losing another game, because their resources are depleting, and the gap between the runs required and the balls remaining is even starting to grow bigger. Off the mark is Sarah. But you clearly see that she is struggling to hit that ball away. She got her debut last year during the Kwibuka. That's why you see her 8 international games. All those games were during that last year's edition, the 31st edition of Kwibuka.
2 wickets in the over. Tino Sarah survived the hat-trick ball. Tino Sarah is one who can bat, but she must show desire and real passion when she comes out to play. The spell for the teacher comes to an end. Beautiful spell. 3 for 8 in 4. And 17 overs are gone. 81 for 7. 45 runs is what the Karuma Rapids need. 45 runs from 18 balls at 15.33 runs every over. Looks like they won't be able to get this one unless a miracle of marginal proportions does happen.
Akru Tasmin, who so far bowled 2 and given away 12 runs, picking up a single wicket, will now return with the ball in her hands. Former captain for Olida school team. That's it with the power to the extra cover. They are pushing very quickly for 2. Kevin Amuge very guilty of taking her time with the ball. Get the ball from the boundary ropes and hand in right away. And in the end, these 2 batters capitalize and pick up the second run. .44 from 2.5, 15 every over for the Rapids to win. $15 every over is the total order in women's cricket, Innocent. Unless Proskovia Alako can play something out of her skin. She already has 24 of 22. She's made sure that she keeps motoring on for the Rapids.
I'm afraid she's not hogging most of the strikes, so it looks like she's already given up as well. But we've seen Alako on the international stage. There have been overs where she scored 18 in an over, and she's already done that even in this particular tournament. Yesterday, as they said, 68. There's an over, she's marked 18 runs.
Rapids will be very unlucky, because if they don't win today, on their double-header day, they needed both wins to remain alive. Run-out chance On the bowler's end, good thinking there from Stephanie Nampina, just throwing it to the hands of Asmin Akruti, who had all the time to wipe off the bells. 3 of 6. Tino Sara departs.
It's not happening for the Rapids. Falling like dominoes. And the lights have duly been turned off by the Rafters here, saying you will not be wading through our waters that easily. We demand you to put up a better show. And the Rafters will be moving smoothly to the top of the log. The senior players in the Rapids haven't come to the party. The young players have also fallen short of the standard that is required at this stage. Good thing is, coaches are watching, selectors are watching, and they will be wreaking havoc on that rota of who makes it to the Victoria Pearl setup for the year 2026. Don't be surprised, Ivan, when you see changes. Changes are looming and changes will be coming.
I believe in change because when things remain constant, many of the players become so complacent. Tino Sara departs and in walks Rashida Tikabula. Another one from Ginger. Another Habibu Mugola product. Another Ginger SS Cricket Club player. In 42 runs from 18 balls, as Marisa Ariokot gets the ball for the Rafters from the road end. No ball there from the umpire as Marisa Ariokot steps ahead of the line, and Rashida Tikabula will be very happy and lucky that she has a chance to get off the mark while facing that free hit.
Bowlers like Malisa, even the free hit is not a free hit because it is more accurate. You can see I told you that. Right on the money for Malisa. Tikabula Rashida does not play like the Tikabula Rashida who plays when she's in Ginger. Is it because of change of a venue? She doesn't feel like Lugogo is the fortress that Ginger has made her become such a good player to win herself a berth here.
Tikabula Rashida played some good cricket in that Girls Nationals, which was played in Sorority City in 2024, where she actually caught the eyes of the selectors and she made part of that under-19 team, which went to Chigali that year. She gets off the mark with that boundary, but her batting and her performance, even in the league, has not been so convincing for the previous years. Maybe she could be dealing with some personal problems that need to be addressed, but she's really a player who can as well bowl, but you clearly saw that in the first innings she wasn't used anywhere close with the ball, yet she's a bowling all-rounder. Plays one shot out of the skin to bring up 90 runs with that boundary for the Rapids. A little late, as they need 37 from 1.3.
Very, very late, Sajabi. Don't miss your words, please. Chance will run out, and that will be given not out. Tikabula giving the strike to Alako. Alako has gotten personal runs. 25 runs is a personal milestone in T20s, but that will not hurt anyone. They won't care about how many he gets today. If he can't take his team across the line, then he has worked for them.
Second last ball there to complete the over. 91 for 8 is what the Rapids have.
All her good bowling. She's yet to pick up a wicket here. Malisa Ariokot, 0 for 18. 8 balls left in the inning.
In this entire tournament, the Rapids have never crossed the 90s. Their scores have always been in the 90s. So it will be a deja vu moment, but Proskovia Alako is saying wait. As that goes all the way for a maximum power from Proskovia Alako to bring up that maximum for the side.
She does. She must continue hitting like that. That's what will get them out of jail. That was the 6. And the second time she swings, that was the 6. Landing on the ropes. A beautiful sights and sounds. Well done to the man on camera. Omulongo Oswa. Bring all those big scales from ICC TV to this in-house production for Cricket Uganda. 97 for 8, Ivan. Isn't it all over now? Last over coming up.
We saw a 6 in the previous over. The penalty made there scored by Prescovia Alako. 30 from 6 means 5 sixes. Can see her there. So what should happen here is that Rashida Tikavula should just look for that thing and bring Prescovia Alako on strike in for the final 5 balls of the innings. And clear, this is mathematically still possible for the Rapids pick-up victory. Asmin Akrut will bowl the 6 balls to complete the innings.
4 sixes plus 7, 1, 4. Does that win it? No.
5 sixes.
5 sixes is the deal if she can get a single now.
But easier said than done. Let's see what Rashida Tikavula does.
The furniture is rearranged. I tell you what, it is as good as game, set and match, because number 11 will be a big ask to ask for to hit 5 sixes. Bull's eye affair for Akuta Subin. She's been picking up wickets and she's the leading wicket taker. Maybe Ivan, you can tell us about her stats.
Yakrut Asumin there putting up a very, very fine display for the Bujjagali Rafters. She got the first wicket in the game and now she's picked up her second in this match. Rashida Tikavula not being in position to close her doors as that goes on and rattles the furniture. Kurt Asmin is the leading wicket taker, as he did say Innocent, and all the others who are close to her, because she has 7 wickets, followed by Sarah Kiteng with the 6, Mwanga Ruth 4, Kevin Amuge 4. All those are her teammates. Clearly, the Bujjagali Rafters have not been an easy team when it comes to using the ball. Mariam Nyangoma, the rusty batter, makes her way to the crease. Mathematically still possible for them to win. A few extras and a few sixes from maybe Nyangoma or Alako will see them win, but easier said than done. 30 from 5.
They will be celebrating Jonathan Sebanja's Rafters. And see how what they do. They really had given up. They're still ringing the changes because Nyangoma is a left-hand bat. Need to get the field setting right.
Another product from Masindi. Another product of the Northern Cricket Hub. Regional Development Officer Grace Mtiagaba. And the coach who is positioned in Masindi, Patrick Musinje, doing a lot of good work. When I grew up, we never knew Masindi for any cricket. But Masindi SS has been at 3 girls nationals. Not a very small feat for their side. Nyangoma Mariam, well known for her bowling. But I tell you, the left-handed batters always force things in a way you can never imagine. Innocent. Maybe you could, because you're one of them. 97 from 9. Sorry, 97 for 9 after 19.1 with the 30 from 5 is now the equation.
Full and straight. Big appeal for leg before wicket. Umpire saying, wait. Hold on, I won't be giving you freebie. Chance for run out. Alako will get the strike she desires. Maybe one final blow will give her consolation, because it's all just like a near possession to victory for the Rafters. They have dominated the Waterfalls this morning, and deservedly so, and they will rise to the top of the table. I tell you what, it's justifiable. They have been a team working in progress, and learning with each passing over. And they lost the first one to the Kayakers by 37 runs when they failed to chase down 112. There's Alako for you, the beautiful show of Alako, throwing the kitchen sink and everything in the kitchen at that one. It's the blow that will give us some joy in a losing cause as the skipper. You very well remember Ivan, we talked about her. She was one of the guilty parties as she put down 2 catches of the person who could arguably be the player of the match in Stefan Nampina. There you see Alako outside of stump, and she throws the kitchen and everything in the kitchen sink, all the utensils with it for 6.
She will bat with a smile. Last 2 balls to complete the over.
No ball is the call. Alako with the boundary. Not just be 4, it will be 5 runs. Sajab is wearing a smile on his face. I don't know if he's thinking, well, is it too early for us to call it game, set, and match? Can Alako surprise us now with a free hit? Because if she pumps it down the ground for 6, it will be interesting. Because the 100 does come up with that boundary. It's now 104. 109 for 9.
The interesting thing is that Praskovia Alako will face the free hit. She's already in the 40s. 2 maximums here. We'll see her cross the 50 mark.
To the total from the big hitting Alako, the captain of the Rapids. But there's just 1 ball left. Runs. Alako goes downtown. Is this a catch? Yes, chance to hold on. And the catch is completed. Stefan the Don Nampina says that the Alako show is over, ladies and gentlemen. They could only do as much. And see where they end. They end on 115 for all out in the allotted 20 overs. They fall short by 11 runs, the Rapids, but only because of those misfits and the times they put down the Don Nampina, the captain of the Rafters. That would have been the difference. She was dropped in the 30s and dropped even after 50. And see what happens now. They lose by 11. That's another game they have given away. The Rapids have been guilty of playing second fiddle in games they've dominated. They will not be learning today because they will go and take a painful break. We see them again on Saturday morning, and hopefully they are better.
Another game and yet another loss for the Rafters. Another game and yet another loss for the Rapids. On their doubleheader, they did not manage to start the game with a victory. Falling short by 11 runs, a few mistakes here and there, they have costed them the game. Praskovia Alako putting up a late show, but you could say that maybe she woke up late. The Karuma Rapids won the toss and opted to bowl first, limited the Rapids to 126 for 7, giving away 6 extras in their innings. Stefan Nampina dominated the show, scoring 62 of 48, leading up front as the captain for the Rafters. Asmin Akrut complimenting her with 36 of 15. I beg your pardon, 36 of 35. Devenya Mel Gabriela, 11 of 9. Kulme Fiona and Saratino got 2 wickets apiece in their 4-over spell, conceding 24 and 25 respectively. Whereas Josephine Ichmal picked up just a single wicket in her 4-over spell. In the chase, Praskovia Alako lit up the show, scoring 47 of 31. Retam Samali, 17 of 20. Opshila Mbeza, 14 of 24. 3 wickets apiece for Akiteng Sarah and Asmin Akrut, whereas Ruth Mwanga only got a single wicket for her side. The Bujjagali Rafters have eventually won the game by 11 runs. It's a double-header day for the Karuma Rapids. They'll be returning in action as they take on the Itanda Kayakers. My name is Evan Cyprian Sajabi, and I was here with Innocent Ndaula, who will be coming up on your screens with the post-match presentation. Don't go anywhere.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, watching us wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the post-match presentation of game number 5 on match day number 3 of the Waterfalls Women's Elite League. A beautiful game played between the Rafters and the Karuma Rapids. Of course, the Bujjagali Rafters winning this one by 11 runs. First things first, I'll talk to the other captain from the Rapids. Proskovia Alako, please come through. Proskovia, please just talk about the game. What do you think happened today?
What I think happened today is in the bowling, I think still the bowlers are lagging. They're still bowling short balls and the fielders are doing, a few catches, and yeah, that's when they ended up getting 126 runs. Then about our batting, still our batters are not taking charge. Just a few. I at least wanted to play with the young girls like me, taking responsibility and playing with the young girls and at least getting the score a bit closer, not losing by a big margin.
You seem to know the problems that are happening in your team. What are you looking to do in your second game? Because today is your double-header day, to make sure that you get your first win.
I think I don't think there's so much to do. I just need to maybe change a few players that some are not feeling well, some are sick. Yeah, just changing a few, and yeah, we shall execute.
Thank you very much, and please enjoy your afternoon.
Thank you.
You heard it from Proskovia Alako talking about the deficiencies in their side. The bowlers still bowling short, and the batters are not taking responsibility. It shows you that the Karuma Rapids have a good awareness of the things that are happening the other way for them. But let's talk to the person who is smiling. Please come through, the winning captain, Stefani Nampina. Good victory. You lost the first game. Now it is back-to-back victories for you, and you're on top of the table. Is this what you anticipated when the tournament started?
Not really, but the girls are picking up. They are learning. They are improving every day. The bowlers have come to the party. The fielders are doing well. The batters are also doing their part. Yeah.
What is giving you more joy? Yesterday, when the senior players didn't come to the party, the youngsters came through and delivered with a partnership of 70. Today, you've contributed from the top and then all the way to the lower batters when they need to add some impetus to get to you guys at least more than 120. What gives you more joy, and what is the coach continuing to tell you people?
The coach is always telling us to just enjoy, play our game and enjoy. So it's all about enjoyment.
All right, Dawn will stay here with me because she is the player of the match. 50,000 for you from the sponsors, and one of the selectors of Uganda Cricket and the head of high performance and pathways in Uganda Cricket, Mr. Richard Gideon Okia, will hand over that envelope to you. Smile, guys. Mr. Richard, you're live on TV. Thank you very much. The Dawn, now let's talk about your play of match performance. What was going through your phases? You were dropped twice and you punished them. 62 from 48 with 4 boundaries and 3 beautiful sixes. Just take me through your innings.
After yesterday's game, I got to realize that the girls played so well. So I had no pressure to play. I wanted to play my game because I had backup. I had many batters in the tent, so I just gave it my all.
Good luck to you. You take a rest. What do you plan to do in the afternoon and tomorrow on the day off?
Just chilling.
Thank you very much. You heard it from the Dawn. She says she'll only be chilling because they are on top of the table. We are living in the world that is dominated by the Bujjagali Rafters, who have won this 5th game of the Waterfalls Women's Elite League by 11 runs. Coming up shortly, the Kayakers, looking to reignite their campaign, will be running into the Rapids from Karuma. That is it from the presentation. See you in the next game.